Hi, this is Lawrence Fleckerbill. You are listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Robertson, along with Tony Figueroa, Donna Allen, and our guest, Hank Garrett. Hank Garrett, the actor known around the world as Officer Nicholson in Car 54, Where Are You? And a man who has also worked with such legends as Robert Redford, Tony Bennett, Cal Basie, James Earl Jones, Duke Ellington, Sophia Loren, James Coburn, Charlie Sheen, Peter Falk, many, many others. Hank's memoir, From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight, is available from Britain Publishing. You can also find Hank's book on Amazon.com, where books are sold online. You can follow Hank Garrett on Facebook. You mentioned your dad was a big guy. You're a big guy too, Hank. I mean, we mentioned you're a professional wrestler, and you've always taken care of your body. And I know for a long time you did weight training. I mean, what do you do to stay in shape these days?
Still pumping iron. In fact, my wife and I were at the gym yesterday, and she works out. We work out together, and we do rep for rep, pound for pound. So, we love going to the gym together.
Well, here's a cliche for you, Hank. Sound body also leads to a sound mind and vice versa. So obviously what you're doing is keeping you in shape physically and keeping you sharp.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we love going to the gym. And it's and my wife, who is a gorgeous lady, and she'll do everything that I do and do it a lot better with classier form than I do. But we don't pump heavy, but we do work out and love it.
Tony?
Yeah, I wanted to go back to the gun, kind of. I know your father broke that one, but you became very proficient in the art of quick draw. I know that's something that you and Sammy Davis Jr. have in common.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I belonged to a quick draw club where you had to draw against a clock. There was a trigger on the clock, and as soon as you took your hand off the trigger, the clock started, and you had to pull, fire, and go back into the holster. So I belonged to a quick draw club in New York at that time. Wow, I'd forgotten all about that.
But I remember seeing Sammy use that technique on an episode of The Rifleman and on the Carol Burnett show. Did you ever get to do that professionally, or was that just a hobby?
Just a hobby. In fact, I went up against Sam. He drew, fired twice before I can even pull out the gun out of the holster.
Wow.
Yes. He was an amazing guy, Sam.
Very, very amazing guy. Tony mentioned it is January as we are speaking to you, Hank. When I think of January, I think of Elvis Presley, and I understand you once sparred with Elvis in Vegas.
Oh, yes. Wow. I had been training martial arts for the longest time. I started when I was 12. And Elvis heard that I was very much into martial arts, and so was he. Mm-hmm. In fact, he had a motorboat, and on the side it said karate. So we got together and we sparred, and he was incredible. He did a lot of flying side kicks, and boy, he was all over the place. And we became friends, but he was traveling all over the world, personal appearances. And it was a terrific guy. Wow.
I understand that at one point, Elvis called you sensei.
Oh, when he saw me, yes. Sensei means teacher.
Yes. And
he saw some of the things I did. And when he heard that I had been a pro wrestler, and he said, "What haven't you done?" And I just stared at him. I was still in awe of being in his company. And so he said, "Boy, you've done so many things. May I refer to you as sensei?" I said, "I'm not a teacher, no. He said, "Please, it would be my honor to know you as sensei." And that's where the name came from.
Yeah, and I understand from what I've learned about the martial arts that for him to call you sensei, Hank, was the highest possible compliment he could have given you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because it means esteemed teacher. Wow.
Donna?
Hank, I'm listening to you talking about icons. Every name you've mentioned is an icon. Can you tell us the story about James Earl Jones, another icon?
Oh, yes. James and I co-starred. We had a series together. And it was called Paris. We were both detectives, and I was in awe of James Earl Jones. Had seen him before we did the show. He was on Broadway. He was doing a show, and I just sat there with my mouth open watching this man perform. And I got to meet his dad. His dad was an actor. And then when Jimmy and I were doing a series together, wow. The Harlem Hoodlum working with James Earl Jones. God is good. Wow.
Hank, I'm listening to you. I mean, your experiences from comedy to drama. As an actor, is there really a difference? Or are they just roles, just characters that you approach the best way you see fit?
You have to have a sense of humor to be a comic. And I was so in awe of all the comics that I saw. Red Skelton, Red Buttons, Danny Kaye. Oh, these were my idols. And so when I got a chance to stand up and do my part of what act, and I started writing. I wrote most of the material that I did, and I was flattered. I wound up being Tony Bennett's opening act for 4 years because he loved what he saw of my act. Wow. Boy, I'm here. I'm talking to you. I swear to you, I've got my mouth open, thinking about all those golden opportunities that were presented to me. Wow.
Hank Garrett is on the line with us while Tony Figueroa and Donna Allen are with us via Zoom. Hank's memoir, From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight, is available from Britain Publishing. You can also find it at Amazon.com. You can follow Hank Garrett on Facebook. Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
One more item. Are you starting a company in an emerging market or developing something new? Do you have intellectual property but aren't sure how to protect it? Reach out to our friends at Tectonic Law. They offer rock-solid representation for groundbreaking industries who need help capturing and protecting their full portfolio of intellectual property and intangible assets, including trademark rights, brand assets, copyright rights, publicity rights, and privacy rights. Tectonic Law streamlines the complex intricacies of intellectual property and business law in easy-to-understand terms that will help you and your company form a concrete plan of action to secure and protect the value of your brand and your creative work product. Tectonic Law is licensed to practice throughout the state of California. They also practice before such tribunals as the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. Go to tectoniclaw.com, tectoniclaw.com, to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
This is Larry Storch, and you are listening to TV Confidential. There, what do you say to that?
Hey, you had 3 already. That one's mine.
Oh, his half, fair enough.
Well, I didn't expect it to be fair. You got the half with the jelly in it.
I understand another legend that you worked with and who was also influential to you, especially early in your career as a stand-up, was Larry Storch.
Oh, Larry. Oh, my God, you guys. Wow. Things that I completely forgotten about. Larry Storch. Brilliant, brilliant Larry Storch. Yes, I had the great fortune of working with Larry, and then, oh, my God. Yeah, he did a guest appearance on Car 54.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to spend a bunch of time with him. Being, oh, God. I was such a fan of Larry Storch. And then getting the opportunity to work with him. Wow. Amazing. A dream come true.
And sometimes life brings a full circle moment. I was in the audience, this is about 10 years ago. It was one of Larry's last appearances in L.A. He was working the Comedy Store, which used to be known as Ciro's, which was the place where he started his career. And you were one of the people who went on stage and you performed and you paid tribute to your pal Larry Storch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my. I'm speechless, and my eyes are full of tears. God, you brought back so many incredible memories. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hank's memoir, From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight, available wherever books are sold through Britain Publishing. You can also find it at Amazon.com, wherever books are sold online. You can follow Hank Garrett on Facebook. Hank will be back next week for part 2 of our conversation. He'll share a few more memories of his career in movies and television, including the time that he once worked with Sophia Loren. Part 2 of our conversation with Hank Garrett next week on TV Confidential.
Well, hi, this is Lindsay Blue, and you're listening to TV Confidential.
Ed Robertson with a reminder that the next edition of TV Confidential will premiere next week on this station at the usual time. We'll play part 2 of our conversation with Hank Garrett, plus we'll welcome back actor and author Peter Ford. Peter Ford, the son of Glenn Ford. In the meantime, speaking of Hank Garrett, Hank's memoir, From Harlem Hoodlum to Hollywood Heavyweight, is available from Britain Publishing. You can also find it at Amazon.com, where books are sold online. Well, David Arnoff's book, Shot in the Dark, is available at davidarnoff.com. Ed Robertson, Dr. Tony Figueroa, Donna Allen, Phil Grice, and Susan Silver. Thank you so much for listening. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll talk to you next time on TV Confidential.